90 seconds. That's the whole fight. 8 inbound tracks light up the radar from Western Iran, and you're staring at the ugliest math in modern war. An 80% chance you stop it, and a 20% chance you watch a fuel depot go up anyway. Patriots spin up. Egypt ships key in. Pilots get pushed toward low, fast contacts that hug the terrain, right as jamming starts to chew up clean targeting. This is the story of how a multi-layer defense tries to stay calm when the clock is screaming. What would you do first? Shoot, hold, or wait for ID? Comment your choice below. 8 tracks, 1 screen, and you only get seconds to make it make sense. At Zulu 0237, the radar net doesn't hear about a launch. It grabs hard locks. Inbound, bearing southeast out of Western Iran. And the first thing the crew sees isn't a flag that says missile. It's track numbers stacking up, little symbols with speed readouts, rough altitude guesses, and a projected line that just happens to run right over a base and keeps walking toward a fuel farm like it owns the place. So now your brain does what it always does under stress. It tries to turn 8 problems into 2. One bucket is the steep stuff. Ballistic tracks climb fast, then roll over, and the system starts drawing that clean arc that screams, "This is coming down hard." The other bucket is the sneaky stuff. Low, flat profiles that don't want to be seen, the kind that ride the ground and show up late because radar hates clutter. Early on, the console doesn't hand you truth. It hands you clues, and you have to bet your base on those clues. And here's the dirty secret. Iran doesn't need perfect aim to win this moment. It needs your screen to look busy. Mixed profiles, maybe decoys, maybe spacing that's just wide enough that the computer keeps resorting the list every swing. One track looks hottest, then another jumps in because the speed gauge changes, or the confidence drops, or the predicted impact point shifts from empty sand to something with JP. 8 still takes. Western Iran is close enough that the timeline gets crushed. These aren't the kind of shots where you watch the clock for 10 minutes and get coffee. From first lock, you're already spinning the 90-second window, and you can feel it in the room. Even the geography helps the attacker. Low flyers can tuck into terrain and ground clutter, and for a few seconds they can blink in and out as the radar tries to pull a target from noise. Those seconds don't sound like much until you realize those are the same seconds you need to assign a shooter, hit a launch window, and still have time for a second shot if the first one misses. Now put yourself at the console. There's a rule set sitting on your shoulder the whole time. Bro, you don't get to just dump interceptors at every gun because you're scared. You need ID. You need a confidence level that holds up when someone asks, later, why you fired. So you watch the track quality, you watch the classification, and you listen as the watchdoor shifts from normal range to the call-outs. Short words, numbers, bearings, 10-second updates. The kind of talk that says everybody is doing math in their head and nobody likes the answer. The first shot choice isn't closest. It's most dangerous if it leaks. A warhead that lands on a runway is bad. A warhead that finds a fuel depot can turn one hit into a long fire, smoke, chaos, med evac, sorties canceled, the whole base coughing in the dark. Time to intercept matters too. If a track is so far along that you only get one clean engagement window, it jumps the line, even if another missile is physically nearer. This is what radar really looks like in the first seconds. A partial picture that sharpens each sweep, while you're already making shoot or hold calls before it's fully sharp. But then the screen gets worse, not better, because the jamming spikes and the low contact start happening. 90 seconds. That's not a timer. That's a trauma plan. You've got 8 in the air, a fuel depot on the map, and a defense crew that has to decide what gets saved and what might burn. This is the story of a missile battery doing surgery with boxing gloves on. What would you do first? Fire now, or wait one more sweep for a cleaner ID? At exactly the moment the order flips from track to engage, the whole battery changes posture. The radar stops watching and starts steering. The launchers wake up like a big crew, power on, or cycle. Missiles go from safe to ready, and the system starts building shot plans in the back while the humans are still arguing with the picture. And you can feel that argument, because layered defense isn't one magic shield. It's a relay race. Long-look sensors push the big view. Mid-range shooters take the first real swing, and short-range guns and missiles sit close to the target like the last lock on your front door. The goal is simple. Get 2 chances to kill before the threat hits dirt. First shot to break the raid. Second shot in case the first one fails, or in case the target splits, or in case the track was 2 objects riding close. But then the jamming starts biting. Not a full blackout. Worse, a messy half-world where the tracks still exist, but they wobble. Speed readouts hop. Altitude guesses jump evaded. The system keeps asking the same questions again because the confidence score keeps dipping, and every dip forces a human to confirm what the machine won't swear to. Now bring in the low stuff. Cruise missiles and drones don't come in like a arm. They skate the ground, hide in clutter, and show late. Sometimes they pop up only when they're close enough that your second chance is gone. That's how you get forced into the worst kind of fight, the close-in fight, where the margin is not miles, it's seconds, and every interceptor you burn is one you don't have for the next track. So you, as the commander, are staring at a problem that is not fair. 8 inbound. Limited ready missiles on the rails. Limited radar time to paint each target clean. And 1 defended asset that changes everything. That fuel farm. 1 hit there isn't just 1 hit. It's heat, smoke, crews choking in masks, trucks trying to pull hoses into a blast zone, and a base that can't fly or refuel the way it's supposed to. This is where prioritizing gets cold. The battery can't service all tracks at once, so it ranks them. Impact time comes first, because the one that hits soonest steals your options. Defended asset value comes next, because a track headed for an empty lot doesn't weigh the same as one headed for fuel or ammo. Then geometry. Not all shots are equal. Some targets give you a clean intercept path and good radar hold. Others sit in a bad slice of sky where the radar sees them late, or the interceptor has to turn hard and loses energy. And here's the mini twist people miss. Even if you get the kill, the math is still true. An intercept can mean fragments. Debris can still punch a roof, cut a line, spark a fire. Near fuel or ammo, that's not minor damage. That's how a base spends the next day fighting flames instead of fighting back. So the Patriot crew makes the first shot decision the way pros do. They shoot the track that is both dangerous and reachable, right now, with the best chance to stop it clean. They pair shots when they can, because a single miss is a leak, and leaks are what attackers live for. And for anything the battery can't reach, it hands off. Another layer, another shooter, another radar that might have a better look. And if nobody has the angle, you brace for impact, you push damage control forward, you clear people off exposed spots, and you get ready to keep fighting for the strong. Because once the last interceptor either hits or doesn't, the next question is retaliation without lighting the whole region on fire. 80% isn't comfort. Not when the other 20 is a fuel farm on fire, crews down, and a base going dark in smoke. And here's the nasty part, the cost curve. Iran can throw cheaper rockets and maybe cruise missiles, and you answer with interceptors that cost a lot more, and a long fight turns into a budget fight fast. So what would you do in that 90-second window? Shoot early, hold for better ID, or split fire and gamble on layers? Comment your choice below. If you want the mindset that wins, hit the subscribe button, because next is proportional response, and how you hit back under Article 51 without tipping into a spiral.